As crazy as this may sound, a narcissist can control you even after their death. Sometimes they can haunt you from their grave. I know that sounds scary, but I'll explain how they do so. I'm Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. In today's episode, we're going to talk about 4 ways a narcissist haunts you even after their death. If that sounds interesting, stay until the very end and please subscribe before we get started because your subscription to the channel helps in spreading awareness about narcissistic abuse. Number one, they maintain their control through the legacy they leave behind. Narcissists are unjust. They never do a fair division, which is why they design the will in a confusing way, making sure that their children or whosoever may be entitled to their inheritance will fight like cats and dogs. They play the chess game in their way. It gives them a thrill while they're alive to think, oh, when I'll be gone tomorrow, my children will be still thinking about me. My rules will confuse them. Nobody will have a clue, and that mystery is what drives them. Most parents, what will they do in a situation like this? No, I have to make sure that everything is sorted out so that when I'm gone tomorrow, there is no family feud, there is no fight, there is no confusion whatsoever, and my children live in peace. But that's not what a narcissist aims at. They do the opposite. They play such a horrible game that it leaves so many people traumatized. I'll give you an example. They may create a condition for you and say, if you suck up to me, if you stay, if you do not go no contact, if you help me, if you take care of me, you will get a certain percentage from the inheritance. And they will surprisingly tell the same lie to everybody else, making people think, oh, they are going to get a lot. Golden children in this case get to have a lot of control, especially if towards the end they remain around the narcissist. And it's not their love that keeps them around, it's their selfishness. You know it very well, their greed. When they die, nothing turns out as promised by them. To your shock, you may find out they have left nothing in your name, not even a single penny. You may have stayed there, of course, not for the inheritance, but because you wanted to be there and deep down hope that you're going to get an equal share, which is not wrong. But then you will be betrayed. You will feel like a fool. Like, what was I thinking? Why did I stay? Why all of this? I'm such a stupid person. No, you were not. It's that narcissist rotten soul that never rests in peace. They want chaos, they want conflict, and unfortunately, you were used as a pawn. They leave cryptic letters behind, deliberately hiding some assets, making sure that when that information comes out later on, everybody gets confused. Lawyers also ask questions like, how was this will designed and why has it been designed this way? So they make sure for it to take a very long time to get sorted out. That is their supply even after death. Do you see how horrible these people are? They may not clear stuff at the banks. Let's say they have been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. They ought to know I have to give clearance to my credit card issuer and make this person my power of attorney. They should be able to have access to funds once I am gone. No. The minute they die, a battle will begin. You will be shut down. Access to their finances will be restricted because they would not have added you as a beneficiary in their accounts. Credit cards, no access. Cars taken away. Banks shut down. Assets possibly seized. And then you will have to go through a long court battle to sort it out and to prove that you are the rightful owner, that it's okay for you to use that money. Number two, they leave you with an emotional burden of confusion and guilt. The person who was abandoned the most in a narcissistic family cult is the one who they seek, the one who was hated, the scapegoat, because they know only you are capable of tolerating their abuse, of taking care of them. So they may force you to become their medical power of attorney when you may not want to. And if you say, no, I don't think I can do that, they will cry, they'll shed crocodile tears, become the victim. Oh, I don't know. I don't know who's going to take care of me. I don't think I can trust your brothers or sisters. I just cannot trust these hospital people. Please be my decision taker, be my support. You are the only one. And you being an empath, you will do that. Unfortunately, for you to be abused one more time by all the flying monkeys and enablers who will judge you harshly and put obstacles in your way. Oh, you can't do that. You can't say that. But I am the medical power of attorney. No, that does not matter. Every single decision will feel like moving a mountain. And that narcissist waiting on their deathbed already has one foot in the grave will enjoy the show. Look at me. I have my scapegoat running around, and I have my other children fighting for me. How amazing. This is the family. This is the type of attention I always craved and wanted. Now, when they die, you are left exhausted. And it takes some time for you to realize that you were betrayed, you were used and taken advantage of. Unfortunately, you direct that rage towards yourself. You blame yourself and you say, I should have put a stop to it when I had time. I should have said no, but why did I not? How did I go in there and just give them what they wanted? It's not your fault. You are a good person by nature and you just wanted to help. And they put on a show. So you need to release that guilt. You need to let go that confusion and let yourself feel the relief, because a lot of people think, oh, I'm not allowed to feel relief because somebody has died. How can I be at peace? No, you're allowed to. It's okay. It's a monster that has passed away, not your parent. Number three, they leave symbolic triggers behind. Believe me or not, this is intentional as well. They will store stuff in a storage unit, and then when they're gone, stuff will be delivered to you, left at your doorstep because they had given your name. Now you do not know what to do with it. All of a sudden, you have photographs, you have their clothes, the smell, the sight, you see, the touch, everything comes back. And they scatter material around, put stuff around, for example, their favorite cup, their favorite dish, or something else, their papers, their office work, their project, their computer, their phone, just to make sure you think of them at every step post their death. Then you're left with shame. Should I get rid of all of this, or should I continue storing it? I don't know. Probably I should, but if I keep it, I'll be stuck. I'll be thinking about him or her all the time. And that is the confusion that drives you crazy, even triggers panic attacks. You have nightmares all the time. You feel like they're sitting in that couch even when they're gone. How are they able to do so? By leaving their presence behind through scattering these symbolic triggers around. Number four, and the last one, battles at their funeral. Funeral with a narcissist is a shit show because you're not allowed to shed tears and it has to be about them. Let's say your loved one dies. You can't cry because if you do so, if you're in pain, that means you are abandoning the narcissist. They'll take it personally and they will make a face. How dare you? You can't. And at the same time, it's even worse when it's a narcissist funeral. How so? Well, they may restrict your entry. You may have done nothing wrong and you may want to show up at their funeral just to pay your lost rights. Out of respect for them, you may want to say goodbye and see them one last time, but you won't be allowed. That shows how bitter they are. I'll give you a personal example. My father is still alive, but when I had my last fight with him, he said, when I die, may God make it impossible for you to even place my body in the grave. So it be fine. Okay, I am not going to be there. But do you see the bitterness? They do not want to do anything with you because you have given them a narcissistic injury. The second thing that happens is at their funeral, there will be different groups. One group, they'll be there just to show up because they have to. The other group of pleasers, of enablers, flying monkeys, trying to make it as dramatic as possible. They may not have wanted to do anything with the narcissist, but when everybody is watching, they will cry, they'll wail, they will want to be soothed, they'll talk about the time spent with the deceased narcissist, And that shows clearly how fake everything was. The other group of children waiting for the inheritance to be divided properly. I've seen it personally. So nobody sheds a tear with true love for them. Nobody remembers them by anything good they have done because they do not leave anything positive behind. So that is how fake it is. That's how alone they are before death and even after. And that is how they make sure you remember them even when they're gone. That was number 4. Let me know in the comments if you resonated. With that, let's bring this to an end. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.